Design Salvation, episode 71.
This is Design Salvation, your lifeline to better design with Dixie and Annie. Our mission is to share our conversation with you so we can all elevate our work and lifestyle. Welcome to the fold.
This episode is sponsored by the Seattle Design Center. Since 1973, the Seattle Design Center has served the design community, design enthusiasts, builders, and architects alike. With more than 500 manufacturers represented in its 20-plus showrooms, it is a destination for creativity, imagination, and inspiration. This is the Pacific Northwest epicenter for sourcing the highest quality of diverse luxury products for the home. Check them out in Seattle's Georgetown neighborhood, Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, or go to seattledesigncenter.com. Hey, y'all, it's Dixie Stark
And Annie Lundquist.
for Design Salvation.
It's book day.
Oh,
I'm excited.
This is kind of becoming one of my favorite
I agree.
times of our month. I don't know. It
know.
kind of slips up on us kind of quickly.
It does.
but-
We're not super. It always sneaks up on us, and then it's
And then
like,
we're like,
oh my gosh, it's time for the new book.
I mean, I will have to give you credit. In advance, you had this one selected.
I did. I was prepared.
You were prepared, and
was.
I'm quite impressed.
Thank you. We're going to get to it in a
also
minute.
had a little bit of our drink prepared in advance. This is the second time you've done
did.
this.
I must
I'm
be.
the
it's-
slacker.
I love
Yeah.
it because I'm always the slacker.
Oh,
I like
you are
a
just-
role reversal.
Maybe we are having a role reversal.
Okay, so I made a drink that I've never had before, a gimlet, which is a really common drink, apparently. It's
Is
well
it British?
known. Well, I think so. Isn't
Yeah, maybe. Which is a
Gimlet?
longer. Yes.
it? Gimlet.
Well, I can't say it that way, but I'm like gimlet, just like.
But this
Southern
is a
gimlet.
rosemary gimlet, and it's from our Drinking French book. And it's
Yes.
David Leibowitz's partner's favorite drink.
Good to know.
Yes. I think his name is Romaine or Roman or something
Probably
lovely.
Roman.
Probably something lovely.
Lovely, of course.
Yes. It's not Bill.
Right.
So
Which is
this
still a
one
fine name.
is,
but-
has fresh squeezed lime juice, a dry gin, and then a rosemary simple syrup that I made with my rosemary. I was really prepared.
I mean, you were.
And chilled it and everything.
I know, you had it
Mhm,
already in
mhm,
advance. And these are the stinking cutest, most adorable glasses.
They're really cute. They have little stars on them, and it's a
Oh.
coupe, so it's a small drink the way they used to serve them, so you
Yeah,
wouldn't
now-
get wasted.
I know. And like the Americans, we do everything big. And so,
Mhm.
this is the way that drinks used to be served in these lovely little glasses. And
It
then
makes
you can
so much
have
sense.
a drink before and
Yes.
after your meal
That's
and
exactly
be fine.
right.
And
Exactly.
during your meal.
It's so true.
Anyways, this is a good one.
This is a good one. I will definitely remake this fall because I think it suits the fall, and yet it's
Agreed.
refreshing, and I think a man would like it.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
do too.
and you could make it less sweet. Obviously,
Yeah, I
put a
think
little
you-
less of the
I
syrup
think you
in.
can manipulate it however you
Mhm.
want to, put a little bit more gin in it or what have you. And of course, I love anything with gin, so
Yeah,
I'm on board.
good. That's a winner.
Go,
Mhm.
Annie. You are like on it.
Thank you.
Oh my goodness. So do we dive into the book first? Probably.
Okay.
It's such a
Let's
good
do
book
it.
in such a opposite fashion from what
We did
many of
last
our
week.
what we did the last month and then what many of our books have been, quite frankly.
Yes. So this is British Designers at Home by Jenny Rose Innes. Or Innes. I don't really know. She's a big Instagrammer. She's fun to follow. She has a gorgeous garden of white roses. And,
Oh yeah, right down your alley.
Yeah. But she also did Australian Designers at Home. That
I
was the
remember
precursor
that,
because she
yes.
lives in Australia.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, I remember that.
But she has a huge fixation with British design.
Well, who doesn't?
That's true.
I like your pen, by the way.
Well, it's yours. I think I stole it,
No,
right?
I think I gave that to you, didn't I?
Oh, I hope you gave
It's
it
a
to
good
me.
one.
'Cause
No, I gave it
is a
to
good
you.
one. I
No,
love
it's
it.
a good
It's a shorty. What's the brand?
Oh, I
It's a
can't
really
even
good
say it
brand.
right. It's Keiko or
Coeco
Keiko.
Sport.
Yeah, it's I'm a pen nut. So
I know
anyways,
you are.
I was
It's a
like, I
good
dig
one.
your pens.
Yeah, I like it.
Anyways, back to the book.
Yeah, so it's very English. So if you don't like an English interior, don't get this book. It's,
Well, you know the English, they're quirky.
They're quirky. They're layered. It can look a little messy. It's definitely not minimal like our last clean white book. It's the counterpoint.
Oh, it totally is. But you know what? As we go into this time of year, we're going into a very serious fall here in Seattle because it is getting cold, people, and the leaves are outstandingly gorgeous. But you do want to kind of like start to nest a little bit. You want to get indoors, and this book is just filled with warmth.
That's right. You could walk into any of these rooms and just cozy up.
Super comfortable.
And not worry about spilling your drink or anything. Honestly, anyone could be comfortable in these spaces, which I think it's not that you have to copy them, but you could certainly take notes.
Oh, yeah. I think you totally could. And of course, I love all the different pets that are featured. The dogs.
They show, and the English love their dogs. So there are dogs with every owner, which is fun. And the other thing I really like about the book is they show the dog beds. They don't move them out of the way, which I probably would do.
I know. You're pretty fanatical about that.
I'm a little fanatical, although you've seen, I have that ugly fluffy one out there right now that the dog loves.
Biscuit usually has a basket.
He does. And
Biscuit in a basket.
Biscuit in a basket. And I don't know why I moved away from that. I put that cute little chair there, and now I have the little. We'll get back to it.
But you know what? The dogs are so, like, you can tell even the dogs just feel super comfortable in the spaces. And I think that's what spaces really need to be, is a place where you can relax and feel comfortable and be able to do whatever the task is. But,
I do. And so we had an interesting question. I mentioned this in the book review. We had a DM from a Salvationite.
I know.
And she asked a really good question. Yeah, it's a great question because last week we talked about trim and upholstering and how to use trim and how difficult it is. Yeah, to reupholster, not to reupholster. And also we mentioned how much of the passementerie that you see at the design center, it's not usable. It's just too decoratory. It's gorgeous. You're tempted. You're tempted. So she said, the question was, is there a good book to really explore trim that's specific to trim? And I said, not to my understanding. They all look ridiculous.
Right.
And I think so far, what I've seen is kind of a waste of money. But I said, dive into your really good design books and you'll see all of the details and how it should be used in a way that doesn't look fussy.
I so agree. That was such a great answer because, if you look at a passementerie, book that's geared towards that, all they're really doing is pointing out the details of the passementerie, but not really the usage or the application. And if you look, this book is chock full of great ways to use passementerie.
Yep.
And I think the Brits do it with ease. I think there are, other ways of doing things a little bit more formal or maybe showcasing the passementerie more, but the Brits do it with ease. It's just a part of how they decorate.
Yeah, and it reminds you of some things you've probably seen before, but like there's one old chair, an old French chair in here that has the plain little tape, like gimpy tape, and then it has the nail heads over it, which I forget about that. It's such an easy detail.
It's a great detail.
With the nail heads over the tape.
And it's very practical because, again, back to what we talked about last week, they're probably covering up the frame and then putting the nail head where it actually can go into some wood that's not already beat up or nailed to death.
Exactly.
And so it not only does it have a purpose, but it has a decorative element to it.
Yeah. Yeah, and then the chair itself, the fabric is plain, so then you just see the detail.
You do, and it highlights the frame.
Yeah,
they're so good. They did a great job of like adding tape to like the Roman shade and the bottom of the skirt on the club chair. And
it's not matchy.
It's not matchy at all. And that might drive some people absolutely crazy because I think that in the U.S. we have a tendency, and even as designers have a tendency to want to match it almost a little bit too much. And I find myself on projects, probably you don't as much, but I find myself on projects because most of my work is very tailored that I have to reel my own mind and my own self in and say, hey, don't get too matchy with this, exactly.
No,
break it
I
up a little bit.
I have that problem too because a lot of times clients are really comfortable with matchy.
They feel more comfortable with that. They really do.
And you have to sort of pull them away from that as best you can. And sometimes you can't.
And so that's part of our challenge as a designer. But the way that this book shows the execution of acquired elements,
collected
items,
and
collected,
patina.
and just patinaed and lived in, and all of the above is quite
and they
intriguing.
do this cute little friendly Q&A with the designers at the end, which I think is super fun. Emma Burns is one of them, and they just ask, "What's your idea of home?" And her answer was the best place to be. And
of course.
Who are your design heroes? And she said, David Hicks, Roger Banks Pye. And what book do you always reach for? And this is my go-to also for inspiration. John Stefanidis, Living by Design. Just couldn't be better.
Good one.
Is there any advice that has particularly resonated with you? And she says, suitability, which is interesting, right? Because you look at these pages and you think, I don't think they're really thinking that much, but they are.
They are. They're thinking deeper than you realize. And again, that's why those rooms are used and well loved.
Yeah. And I think this is really cute. What's your idea of luxury? And she says, wasting time.
Oh,
isn't that the truth?
Well, I do think time is such a luxury.
Yeah.
And the older I get, the more I think that. Now, that could flip on me a little bit,
Well, I was ironing napkins the other day, which Nana usually irons for me, bless her heart. But she's not been coming out of her little apartment that much. And so I started ironing. But I must say, it makes me feel like my life's under control when I'm ironing, because I must have some time. If I have time to iron.
Maybe I need to iron, because I don't feel like my life is at all.
Yours isn't right now.
Mine is crazy pants right now.
You are the busiest designer I know right now. No, I don't think
we're all busy.
You're not. No,
we're all busy.
You don't get to iron.
I love this Q&A though, because everybody's answer is a little bit different. But if you kind of think about it, they're all on the same line, or same page. So to speak.
They are. There's a lot of commonality and.
Thank you. That's the word I meant. Commonality. Thank you.
You'll recognize some of the images from Instagram but they're taken from different angles. And I think you'll Emma Burns has one of the most photographed little libraries ever.
You love that.
From the exterior is this little old outbuilding that she's turned into a library guest room yumminess thing. So I think this book could really offer a lot of insight. I think you might be overwhelmed at first pass. In fact, Dixie came today and I said, I don't know. I'm getting
You started questioning
I started questioning it.
Oh my gosh, you've had this selective for like 2 or 3 weeks.
And you really...
I really resonated with it.
And that was
even
helpful.
though it's more than what I live with or what I even encourage my clients to live with in our busy lifestyles. But I also will say that the British don't live the fast-paced life that we do in the U.S.
I think that's a good point.
And so they can live with more things and enjoy their things, and they move them around more, and they interact with them more. We're so stinking busy most of the time. I would say pre-COVID more than now. So stinking busy that less is a little bit more favorable for the U.S. But
that's a good point.
That totally resonates with me, that they have special things that they live with, that they enjoy, and that they use. And you know what? You're going to see some things in this book that look frumpy and ruffled and wrinkled. And, I'm sure there's a lot of dog hair on some of those sofas. I love that, but that's what makes it so beautiful.
It's true. That lived in quality that we talk about so often. They really do it right. And it's like we said, and I actually think this look is kind of trending.
Oh, I think it's totally trending right now.
The darker, moodier, smaller kind of rooms. And I think it works well everywhere. It works well here. We have Craftsman bungalows in Seattle that is just a perfect fit. But I think this is like a notch above what I'm seeing.
I know. And we've been saying for a while that we think traditional is definitely like having a comeback. Renaissance period, whatever you want to call it, and, with a twist, of course. There's those shades, those pleated shades. They're all through this book. Yeah, they kind of make me crazy.
I know you hate them in the right setting,
but in the right, I'm so in favor in the right setting. But they make me crazy on it. That's my confession for the day. Oh my gosh, they make me crazy. That's not something I'd probably order for my client. But,
no, you wouldn't. But I think that
they have a place.
They have a place, and they have a good place. It's just that everyone's putting them everywhere. every place.
I know. So they're overdone. And see, there's where I have my knee-jerk reaction, of course. But,
or they put them in a clean space.
I'm like,
and then it just
stop
looks kind of...
Yeah, and I think that the appropriate base is, necessary. But
Totally.
you'll see those in this publication, and they are used well.
They are.
I'll have to say.
They
the
are.
one thing you love, which I also love as well, is the inside of the jacket.
The inside of the jacket is that marbleized paper.
So
Little details
good.
make us so happy.
I know.
And I don't think we have a dark green forest colored book in our collection. So I'm kind of glad to have a different...
It's great to have that jacket.
colorway.
And I think it's good for the Pacific Northwest too, just because we're so green out here.
We're so green.
In general. But
Like
the one
today.
thing that I noticed, I don't know which chapter it was on which designer. It was one of our favorites. Was it Carlos?
It could be. Is that the... What do you...
I was going to mention the Benjamin Moore
the color of the year.
2021.
Yeah, who was that? It was in the back
because we're just skipping past 2020. We're just going to go right to 2021.
We are.
But yeah, I think it was Carlos.
Oh, here it
yes.
is. This is...
What page is that? What number is that?
Yeah, this is 306. It's the beautiful Aegean color. It's Colin Orchard. So no, it's not the other guy, but this is the color of the year, which is the beautiful sea blue green color, which I think one of the things that Dixie and I were talking about is that you don't have to be literal with the color of the year.
No, it can be a derivative of it.
Yeah, it can be a derivative.
It can be, like when you first looked at it, you said, I'd cut that by 50%, maybe add some more blue. And I think that when they issue these color of the years, it's not that literal. It's just, this is the palette with which we are forecasting for, this upcoming year. But it's definitely, when I first looked at it, I did think, it has a British kind of flavor to it because you've seen a lot of kitchens. I remember when I was a little girl, I was probably, about 8 or 9. My mama painted her kitchen cabinets that color. And of course, everybody in the family thought she's crazy. And it was the prettiest kitchen I believe I've ever seen.
Now, there's a lot of versions of this color in this book, and some of them where it's just the trim that's painted the color, and
just the door, the wallpaper. There was, like that cupboard.
I think this is a lighter blue, and this is Carlos Sanchez Garcia on page 289, which I love more. But I think blues and greens are really hard in the Northwest, personally, to put all over your wall because they can go really gray and dark and too moody. So.
It's a challenge here, and I think that we're influenced.
But they have the same weather in England.
They do. We just have the reflection from the water that's pretty significant, and we get the reflection from the mountains, and then we have so much green around us. So I think that it depends on which way the actual room is facing, where the sunlight's coming in.
Well, and I also would say think about what time of day you actually are in that room, because
of course
I like warmer colors in the evening rooms, and the more the greens and the blues are okay in the daytime rooms because natural light and sunshine look beautiful on those colors. But at night, I want a little more glow.
A little more glow.
I want my wrinkles
moody.
To go away.
Yeah, me too. Anything to make us look a little softer.
So
softer.
Next week.
Oh, it's going to be so much fun.
Yeah, we're going to be the last call for the Seattle Design Center Market Week virtual.
It's an honor. I mean, I think that's great that they asked us to do that.
I am delighted and flattered, frankly.
Too.
I mean, There we go. So we want you to join if you're local and enter the drawing because it's super easy. All you have to do is post a picture of
like a project that you've done.
There, you utilize the design center.
Correct.
So even like a fabric on a chair is sufficient. It doesn't have to be that you bought the chair there. It could be just the fabric.
It could just be the fabric. It could be a pillow. It could be, multiple elements in the room. And you've got to tag the design center.
And the showroom, I think.
The showroom. And kind of, call out what you did.
Might as well tag us.
Well, sure. Tag it. Hey, tag us at design.salvation. And basically it enters you into the drawing, and there's multiple prizes to give away that are all pretty good.
Like 8 little prizes.
Yeah,
they're cute. It's fun to win. It doesn't. I don't think anyone really cares. And then you get to come down and pick it up at the design center and have more reason to explore.
Yeah, you go in and you say, hey, I won this and I won that. But we get to do a live stream, which is going to be super fun.
We haven't done that.
And actually all of next week, they have, if you go to seattledesignCenter.com, you can see the list of other, they've got all sorts of activities and virtual.
They have a great
this and
speaker.
That.
I don't know if you saw it, but
keynote.
The keynote speaker, is that the one on how to get referrals without
I think so.
calling or something? It's a better title than that. But I thought that's a really good use of time.
Very valid.
For any designer.
Yes. And they just have various different showrooms are introducing their fall product. Everything from textiles to furniture. Baker's got their local... I think it's the territory rep is going to visit with you. And then I think it's, Pindler's got some stuff going on. I mean, they all have worthy topics. And so it just kind of depends on what you're interested in. But there's quite the lineup. And they're just back to back to back to back. But you have to sign up.
Not pick and choose or do them all. I mean, I don't
exactly.
know. I don't think
I've signed up for something, at least a couple of things every day. So I can kind of get my little taste of what's going on with everything. So by the time we roll around to Thursday,
we'll know a lot more.
We'll be so
our brains
educated
will be bursting.
on it. It'll be crazy. Yeah. So, it's going to be fun doing that. Now, we'll have our normal weekly, episode.
The following.
We'll have our normal episode.
This will come out. This will come out
Wednesday.
On the Thursday when we're doing the live stream.
It'll come out on the Wednesday before, and we do the live stream the very next day.
Okay.
So that's why we're prepping you big time right now for it.
Yeah.
Anyways, it's going to be fun. We're excited about it. Next week, we're going to have lots to talk about too. You guys just wait.
Just wait.
It's
endless good stuff.
You know what? It's about Halloween.
I hate Halloween.
Girl. I mean, it's not like I'm trick-or-treating or anything. It's not like I really fancy up the house or anything. I just love this time of year.
Well, yes. No, it's looking very fallish and fun, and it's pretty special. But I hate Halloween. I don't like orange pumpkins, and I don't like putting costumes on.
I love your gourds, though. And I got white pumpkins this year, and they're fabulous.
No, there are more options, but I don't like costumes. And the trick-or-treaters annoy me because they're like big grown teenagers, and I'm like, can't you drive a car and get your own candy?
I mean, seriously.
I like the little muffins.
Oh, yeah.
I like the little ones that
come. And a lot of them are scared to get dressed up.
They are, but I don't think anyone's going to really be trick-or-treating this year, unfortunately.
I don't think so either. I think it's going to be a different world, but I just always love this time of year, and I always think, gosh, when you hit Halloween, baby, you're coasting till the end of the year. And I think everybody's like, 2020, good riddance.
Yes. No, if things start flying, Christmas comes fast, and then all of a sudden it's spring again. It's amazing.
It's amazing.
It's amazing.
We've got some fun things lined up for this winter, though. So I'm kind of looking forward to winter.
December is going to be awesome. Early December. Be magical. I have a date. A secret event.
Okay, very good.
Yeah, we'll tease about it.
Lots of fun
We'll tease
stuff
about it shortly.
Yeah, we sure enough will. We'll be talking to you next week, not once, but twice.
Twice.
I know.
Tune in.
Ciao for now.
Ciao for now.
Hey, y'all. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. You can also find us at designsalvation.com, where we'll have the past podcasts listed as well as show notes. Hope to see you there.